Hello, my Zentangle friends. This is Barbara Langston, CZT, Certified Zentangle Teacher, and welcome to another session of Not Perfect Zen. I hope you're doing well. This is Saturday for me. It's very hot outside, so I'm happy to be inside creating a video for you. If you create a tile and you want to share it on social media, this is actually the best way to tag me is with my Instagram tag, and that's at @BBL_Tangles. And I love seeing your work. Thank you so much when you share it. Today I'm continuing with 102 Tangles of Zentangle. And here are 4 patterns that are included on that 102 Tangles of Zentangle poster. And I'm going to recreate one section of that poster and would like to know your opinion if I've got it right or not. I know it's poke root, but I don't know for sure what's in the center. I think it's striping, a variation of striping, but if it's something different, let me know what you think. All right, so let's get these out of the way. We are going to be using a Zentangle 3.5 inch tile. You can use any size tile that you would like, any color, any pen, just follow along. Okay, I'm going to use a Micron PN. I'll be using a graphite pencil, a blending stump, or tortillon. I always keep this handy, and sometimes I keep it inside of it to keep the tip pushed out. White charcoal pencil and a separate tortillon for that. And I always keep a kneaded eraser close by. All right, so let's get started. This will be a classic tile. So we are going to start with gratitude. I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be sharing this with you. And I'm so grateful for those of you who watch my channel and hit the like button and subscribe and your comments. And I love seeing your tiles. So I'm very grateful for all of you. Okay, so we've put our 4 corner dots, and we're just going to very simply connect those lines and not trying to keep it perfect. All right, so there's our border. And next we're going to add a string. And this string is going to go from corner to corner, and I'm just going to make a curved line that comes down, and then I'm going to do that from the other side. Okay? And I'm not, this is just a guide, so kind of a C shape in both directions. And now I'm going to pick up my Micron PN, and I'm going to start with poke root. Okay? And we're just going to go along this string line that we've made and start adding poke root. So 2 little lines for the stem, and then we're going to come around and add our root, our little berry or whatever you'd want to call that. Come off the top of that one. We're just going to curve back around. And these are all going to kind of point in towards the center of this. Very simple. So we're just going to keep going off the top of the poke root before the one that you just did. Okay, very simple. We do our 2 lines. I'm sure poke root is not a a new pattern to most of you. But if you're new to Zentangle, this is one of the first ones that we tend to be taught. So again, 2 lines coming off the top. They're curved like a C shape. Put another little C curve at the end of those. And then just simply come around and make your little poke root. Okay, when you get to this end, we're just going to go back the other direction. And you can see that I've gone past my little border. Your borders and your string line are just suggestions. It's okay to go past it. All right, so we're going to follow this line. And then continue adding our poke roots. You can make yours a little smaller, a little larger, whatever works for you. You can just watch and see what I'm doing, and then come back and make it the way that you would like to. Again, poke root's just a very simple pattern that can go anywhere on your tile. And I've been doing my homework trying to figure out all of the patterns on the poster, 102 Tangles of Zentangle. And honestly, I think the only one I'm not sure of is what I'm going to show you that's in the center of this on the poster. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is put an aura inside this. Okay, so just come in a little bit on each one of these. And I'm trying to keep it about the same distance on each of these. If you don't keep it the same, it doesn't really matter. Just keep coming around. Okay. And just let me show you real quick. I know you saw this in the introduction to this, but now that we have the poke root on here, this is what is inside of poke root on the poster. And I've asked a couple of other people what they thought it was, and they didn't know. And so I'm just calling it, like I said, striping for now. And if you recognize it as something else, then let me know. So we are going to put stripes, and I'm going to make mine a little bit curved. And I'm going to start with this stripe, and I'm going to fill it in. Oops. I do have a hand that sometimes just has a mind of its own. I will show you real quick how oops. I don't have a white Jelly Roll, but you can just put a dot of ink from your white Jelly Roll pen to go over that. Okay, so on each side of this large stripe, we're going to have a narrow aura, okay? And then we're going to put another kind of fat aura, and within that, we're going to just put some dots. You can make them as big or as small as you'd like. Another thin aura, and then it's going to be another fat aura. And we're just going to pretend that went behind. And then we're going to fill this in. Excuse me. Okay. And then it would be another wide one right here. And again, we went under and then put your little dots. And then it would be another one and a little bit of the black there, okay? It'll make more sense when I come back down in this direction. Okay, so we had a fat black one, thin aura, a fat one with the dots, and then wide black one, thin, and here we go, wide again. And then we're going to put our little dots inside. And another aura. And this one, oh, this should have been a narrow aura. I'll tell you what. We're going to fix it with a narrow aura. And then put our wide one here. When I get to talking, I forget what I'm doing. Okay, so there's our thicker black line. Now we want an aura, another thick line for our dots. Okay, a narrow aura, thick line, fill that in. I'm also trying to go a little bit faster than usual because we have several patterns. Okay, narrow. And then a wide one again for our dots. And I didn't keep that S shape, but it's okay. It's not a contest, not being graded. I'm just enjoying drawing. Okay, so there was our narrow line. And then we're going to fill this one in. You know, you could make these just straight across. Keep in mind, this is your art. Make it the way that you would like it. Okay. And I'll probably come back and fill these in just a little bit better. Okay, here come our dots. Another narrow line. Now our thick black line. Sometimes when I do these where there's a lot of area to fill in, I'll come back with maybe a graphic one or like an 05, 08, something like that, and fill them in a little bit better. Okay, so there's our narrow line. Now we're going to do the dots. Can't see those because it went behind. Narrow line. And then our thick black line. Okay. Narrow. Wide for the dots. Narrow. And wide. This is our black one again. Oops, sorry. Bumped the camera. Okay. Narrow. Wide. And our dots. Narrow. And our black line. So this is the end of July, coming up in just a couple of days, and the beginning of some of the hurricane season for us. Hoping that we don't get anything, but odds are that something will come our way. And I'm probably going to need to have my roof replaced before that happens. So, okay, there we are. So this is basically how it looks on the poster. That we have poke root, an aura, and these lines inside. And I'll come back and fix these so it looks a little better. All right. This side, I'm just going to add some poke leaf, just for fun. Let's see. So poke leaf is basically the same in the beginning, but instead of being round, we're going to come up to a point, come back around and come up. Okay, so that's poke leaf. And you can make your little stems as long or as short as you like. This one's going to go behind a little bit, come up and around. I'm going to have a stem go behind here and come up. And make a little leaf. Let's have one come up this way. Again, it's going to go behind and then come out. Just make it random. Or you could put any pattern that you would like up here. Again, I'm just choosing from the patterns that I see on the 102 Tangles of Zentangle poster. And that poster is available at zentangle.com. This one's going to go behind and come up here. If you haven't been following that playlist yet, the 102 Tangles of Zentangle poster is what introduced me to Zentangle. I saw it on display at a community college where I was taking classes, and I was immediately attracted and had to know more. And so I wrote down, I actually took a picture of the poster, and I saw the name Zentangle. So I got on the internet, and the rest is history. I was immediately addicted to it. I loved it. Okay, so now I've added poke root. You could put poke root on this side also, but I'm going to add Msst like I did here. Okay, and to do that, I just came up here and started an aura similar to what we had on this side. I just want to separate it from the next pattern. Okay, and I'm not going to worry that that's open-ended. You could just bring it around, but I'm not worried about it. Okay, so for Msst, it's super easy. Just wavy lines of various lengths and little dots, kind of like a waterfall. So I'm going to start here in the center. And just make a little line and then add some dots going down. Okay, then we're just going to repeat that with various lengths. I'm not worried about how my dots are. This is a very simple but effective pattern. I haven't used it in a while. You could have the dots go off the page or off your tile. They can be nice and short. They can be long. You decide. And since we don't have a lot of room here, I'm going to make all of these kind of short. And you can stop wherever you'd like. Just have fun with it. Okay, now I'm going to go in that direction. I'm curious to know if anyone else has that poster. And if so, if you've really studied it or not. Again, just have fun with it. Okay. So now let's do some shading. So I have my graphite pencil, and I am going to add graphite all along this inside area. You can skip the black if you want to. It doesn't really show on there, or you could still just go ahead and put your graphite over it. Sometimes it dulls it a little bit, but I don't think we'll notice it. Okay, so just keep going along the inside. Turn your tile. Keep your hand comfortable. Relax your shoulders. Don't forget to breathe. Just have fun with it. And this is what we call non-representational. So we're not trying to make a landscape or a garden scene or anything in particular. We're just having fun drawing. Okay, so once you have that done, we're going to take, sorry, I have a dry throat. We're going to take our tortillon and just soften that edge, pull it in toward the center. Okay, turn your tile, keep going around. Just keep little circles, softening that. Till you come back to where we started. Okay, so that makes it look like that has dropped down below. All right, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put with my charcoal pencil, and this is not required. If you don't have one, that's okay. It just gives it a little bit of a highlight. Okay, I'm going to have it kind of curve in that direction. Okay, and then it makes it look like it's kind of standing up. I'm going to soften that. And you'll mostly see it on that black stripe. Okay. Now we're going to do our poke root and poke leaf. And for all of these, I'm going to put a little bit of graphite where the stem goes in at the bottom. Okay. And then we'll soften that. And this just gives us a little bit of a shadow at the bottom of each one of these. And as the name of my channel implies, I'm not trying to make this look perfect. Okay, and the other thing you can do is on each of these little poke roots, I have my pencil on the side, okay, almost laying down flat, but I have it on the side, and then I'm just gonna put like a little C shape on the top of each one of these. And it helps it to look rounded. Okay, and then doing the same thing, we're going to come back. I'll just soften that a little bit. You don't need to do much. Plus there's graphite left on this tortillon that is adding a little bit to each one of these also. Okay. And I'm going to do just one side of the poke leaf. Add a little bit of a shadow on each side, and if it's going under, I'm going to add a little shadow there. And I'm doing it on the same side on each leaf. And then I'm going to come back and just soften that. And I missed that one, but I've got enough graphite on my pencil that I can, or my blending stump. Okay, and the last thing I'm going to do is come along this edge and just put graphite right at the very top of the Msst pattern. And again, my pencil is almost flat because we don't want to put it straight down. That leaves a harsh line that can't be softened. Okay, I come with our blending stump and just soften that. Okay, so there we go. You can pull that down a little bit more if you want to. And there we have it. So, again, if you know or recognize that center pattern, I'd like to know what you think it is. I'm calling it striping, but it might be something else, and I'm very curious to know because I'm real close to having all of the patterns that are on that poster named. Okay, so I'm just going to put my chop down here. That represents BBL. And I would encourage you to put the pattern names on the back of your tile, date it, Get all that on there. And then there's Msst. All right. Thank you so much for watching my channel, for watching this video. I do appreciate your comments, and if you liked this, please hit the like button, and if you have not already, please subscribe. And I'm very grateful for everyone who has already subscribed to my channel. I enjoy your comments, whether they're positive or negative. I try to respond, and if you have any questions or any requests, I would love to know. Thank you so much. Have a great week, and I will see you next time. Bye.